Good morning, Kate here, bringing you this week's Monday mission. And this one is all about outsourcing. Okay, and I'm going to explain what that is because what we really want to do is actually be insourcing a lot of what we are delegating to other people. So, outsourcing is when you do that, you delegate, you ask someone else to take over the task, you give something outside of you the power to handle whatever it is. So, if you run a business and you have somebody print your product for you, you're outsourcing that printing. If you have someone come and clean your house, you are outsourcing the cleaning or running errands or doing the grocery shopping, whatever it is. You're giving the power to that person. You're saying, hey, you handle this. You have control over this. What we tend to do, though, is we also tend to outsource our worth, our validation, our emotions, our thoughts, and our overall identity. We outsource to something outside of us rather than focusing inward and insourcing that. So if we think about it, our validation and our worth is often determined, or we allow it to be determined by our accomplishments. If I get that promotion, if I get my degree, if I get that dream job, then I'm valid, I'm worthy. Or we give it based on how our kids perform. If my kids don't act up in public, if my kids get certain grades, if my husband is successful, if I make this amount of money, all of those are external validation, external determination of worth. Okay? But what we know and what we've talked about, right, is that we are worthy and we deserve everything we want in life simply because we are. It doesn't need to be outsourced. We don't need anything or anyone outside of us telling us that we are worthy or that we are validated. Okay? So we also do this with our emotions, right? So if my kid's upset, I'm upset. If my best friend is offended by something, I'm offended by something. But do we ever truly stop and ask ourselves, well, how do I really feel about that? Okay, I did this a lot growing up. I didn't have a lot of self-trust in my own opinion or thoughts. So if someone else thought a certain way, then that's how I thought too. Or, it's just outsourcing rather than looking inward and asking yourself, well, how do I really feel about this? How do I really think about this? Okay. We also do this with our identity. So we let society and other people tell us what size we should be, how we should dress, especially according to our age, whether we should or shouldn't color our hair, how we should raise our kids, whether we should nurse or bottle feed, whether we should co-sleep or not co-sleep, whether we should let them cry it out or we should, I'm just getting stressed thinking about all of this. Whether we should be a part of this political party or this church or this religion, whether we should be offended by certain things in politics, just everything you can think of, all of the messages that we receive from everyone around us and society in general is telling us what our identity should be. And do we ever stop and ask ourselves, what does it mean for me to be healthy? For me personally, to be healthy, I do move my body every day in some way. I do try to limit processed food as much as I can and sugar. Though that to me is being healthy. It's not being a certain size anymore. It used to be that if I was this size, if I was this weight, then I would be healthy. But I had to really figure out what that looked like for me and came to a place where I finally know what healthy means to me. Because being a size 2 or, eating 1,200 calories, that's what society told me my identity should be, right? And it wasn't until I tried all of those things and met all of those standards and was still not happy because I wasn't truly being what was healthy for me, right? Ask ourselves, what does it mean for me to be a good daughter, for me to be a good partner, for me to be a good mom? What does that mean for me? Is it that I throw Pinterest-worthy birthday parties? Is it that my kids are dressed to the nines every day that we go out in matching outfits? Is my identity as a mom only determined if my kids are getting straight A's or they're the quarterback of the football team? All of those messages that you get we're outsourcing our identity and who we are instead of going inward and insourcing and just truly asking ourselves, what does it mean for me to be a good mom? What does it mean for me to be a good employee, to be a good partner? That is going to look much different than what is good for you, right? Because we're all individual. These are all things that should be insourced, that should come from in. And we need to reclaim that power back and stop outsourcing as much as we can. And the best way to do that is to just, as always, be curious. Why is this coming up for me? Why do I think I need to meet this standard? Is it because I truly want to? Then that's okay, right? It's aligned with my values. It's who I want to be. It's the future self that I want to be. Or is it because, well, that's what everyone kind of said that I should be or do or say, right? So this one is super short, but our mission, should you choose to accept it, is to stop outsourcing and start insourcing. And the best way to even get to that point where you can insource all of that is to be curious and ask yourself, what does this mean for me? Okay? All right, so that was a quick one. I hope it was good for you. Let me know, as always, anything that comes up, and we'll talk soon. Have a great day.